Chapter 327 here with Rolling Quarters. We've been here before. We're going to look at his original tiny house. He's got a new tiny house, Rolling Quarters.
That's right. RQ2, Rolling Quarters 2. So yeah, this is my backyard. Before I built the first tiny house in my parents' backyard, and that let me search for wherever else I wanted to put a house. So now I got it sitting in the backyard, using it as a rental, and then I just live in the main house.
And number one got flooded once?
Number one got flooded once. The first place I put it was at a friend's house on a creek. Irma came in and flooded me a couple inches, but it was nothing
A
few weeks of hard work couldn't fix.
Gotcha.
So it's all dried out and good now.
Take us for a tour.
Sure, come on back. So when I bought the property, it didn't really have anything back here. It was all just a bare backyard. So I put up the wood fences on the sides, and then in the back, it backs up to wood, so I just left that chain link. And then I put in the deck here so that it has one common deck area that can be used by all four houses. So when I rent out the smaller houses, I'll have, two people I don't even know, like, because I do short-term rental, and then we'll all just meet up here. This is like the common area for meet and greet. And then I built a bridge over here to Rolling Quarters, so it's pretty private there with a big oak tree. And eventually I plan to put in a pond under here to make it an actual bridge. So this is the first house, the original Rolling Quarters. Right next to it, RQ2. It's pretty similar as far as materials and sizes goes, but with a completely different layout. Next to that one is Jim Tom tiny house. That's 6 foot by 10 foot. So it's really small, basically enough for a Murphy bed and a kitchenette. It didn't have a bathroom when I bought it, so that's what I built this here for. It's a full bathroom, 8 foot by 8 foot, so in essence it's 4 more square feet than the actual tiny house. But I parked it next to the house so I could plumb it in to the house septic system, so that I didn't have to do a composting toilet.
Like it.
So we could start out by going inside Jim Tom.
Sure, absolutely.
Check that one out. The name on this one came from when I went to buy it from the guy. He lived on Jim Tom Road and just kind of stuck.
Gotcha.
Like I said, 6 foot by 10 foot. And the guy that built it was a handyman and a carpenter. So I knew when I went to see it, all the edges and seams, everything looked really well put together. And so he said he used a lot of reclaimed materials from his job sites. So over here you got tongue and groove, and over here you have cedar, cedar siding or roofing.
Cedar shakes.
Cedar shakes, but you can tell these are all kind of the rejects from his project because they have all the knots and stuff. I think it's pretty neat that way. And the bed here is a Murphy bed. I just put on a bigger mattress, so I still need to build out the frame some more. But when it's up, you got a nice bench seating.
With storage, yep.
With some storage. It's got AC, TV, and then back here we got a basic kitchenette, bar sink, mini fridge, microwave. It's perfect for people that are just here for, a night or two, need somewhere to crash.
Nice.
It also has this fold-up dining table.
When the bed's up, the table comes up, yep.
So 2 people can sleep in here pretty comfortably if they like each other enough.
And 3 windows, nice.
4 windows.
4 windows, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, you got 4 windows, 2 of them open. So, like I said, the guy did a really nice job. I'd like to say I built this one.
Yeah. And the porch folds up when you're moving?
It would, but he built in this box.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't really need to. He used it as a hunting camp, so he just put a generator in here.
Oh, okay.
But eventually I'm just gonna take that out and, write shoes on it or something. It'd be a nice shoe box
It would
out
be,
here.
yes.
save up some space inside. So we can check out RQ2 now.
Okay.
Like I said, this one, I pretty much kept it the same as far as materials go. The same vinyl siding and then gray metal roof. I wanted them to match. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
So the vinyl is really lightweight and lasts forever. Zero maintenance. That one's 3 years old, and I pressure washed it once, and it looks just as good as when I put it on. So this house is 24 foot by 8.5 by 13.5 tall from the ground. So 8.5 and 13.5 is the standard for maximum towing restrictions. So people can make them much longer or shorter, and that's really where people have the wiggle room.
Gotcha.
So this one will have 2 lofts as opposed to the other one that had 1 loft. 1 loft on this end, 1 loft on that end. And each of them will have these windows up top looking out. This one will have a set of stairs coming up the wall to get to the loft, and then a small door, and the rest of this will be bathroom with a frosted opening window there.
Gotcha.
On this side you'll have a dining table pulled down in front of the window. And then this is where this loft will start, but there's no stairs to this one. It'll have a vertical ladder along this wall.
Okay.
With a couch, TV, and then kitchen underneath that window. Long kitchen counter. And that should sleep 4 or 5 if someone sleeps on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing I did different was, in the other one I did 2x4 roofing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used the same kind of plastic baffles, which gives you an inch of space for the hot air to move up from one end to the other. But then I also did recessed lighting and insulation, and by the time you get all that, it's really not a lot of room up there.
So 2 by
So the
6s
2x6
from now on.
will give some more,
Gotcha.
another inch,
Yep.
inch and a half of space.
All right, I guess on to number 1 then.
Yeah. Off to the original.
I like the bridge. That's cool.
Thank you, sir. Is it still a bridge if there's no water underneath?
I think so.
Okay. This one is 22 foot by 8 foot, not including the 5 foot porch. And it's got an 8 by 8 loft, so 175 square feet on the bottom, and then another 60 in the loft.
This is a lot different from the last time I was here.
Pretty bare bones the last time you saw it.
Yes, very bare bones.
I think we were sheathing it or something
I think so.
in the middle of the summer.
Yes.
So now it's much cooler. It's got all the finishing touches.
It's a nice sized countertop.
I thought about doing the concrete countertop that you did, but it seemed like that'd be pretty heavy.
Yeah.
This is just 3/4 inch plywood stained and
Good decision.
polyurethane. About $40 for the countertop.
Mm-hmm.
It's held up good for 3 years. So anytime I needed to replace it, it's not a big job.
I like that air conditioner too.
Yeah.
It's
It's got the mini split. This brand is called Mr. Cool. It's a DIY model, meaning the copper lines are pre-charged, so you don't need a HVAC guy to install it. You just run the cables and then screw them in and release the Freon. It works fairly good.
Mm-hmm.
It did go out on me though after a couple of years, so while I was replacing it, I put in a window unit
Gotcha.
as a backup.
This is the ladder up.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Composting toilet. Full-size shower.
And it's got a decent sized closet.
Yes, it does.
You can hit this switch too. So decent work area with the desk. This is a lot of flexibility for future use. This last 4 feet you could put a twin size bed across here if you wanted, or you could just convert it out to another closet on that side if it was more for full-time living. But when I built it, I still had 1.5 years left of school, so I thought a desk was appropriate. Another thing I might do different on the next one is here I did the loft about 6 feet tall, just to give me an extra inch. That maximized the height of the loft. But now it's being used for other people, some people have to duck a little bit. But it's not too bad because everything underneath the loft you don't really access much. Like if you're over here, you're sitting down. If you're there, you're sitting down. And if you're at the sink, you're just standing there. So you got an extra 3 inches here by leaving these exposed. And then the shower shoots up above. I think when you filmed it was all bare bones, but the shower shell was in there because the shower shell was too big to fit through the door.
Yeah, I think it was in here somewhere. Maybe laying down in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Let's see if I can climb with one hand.
Let's see.
TV, bed, there's a locker, a window. So I guess with the air being there, I know we had talked one time about that window not opening. The air kind of blows that way?
Yeah, it does pretty good. I also put this secondary fan.
Gotcha.
I usually leave that on low, and that'll just keep it more of a neutral temperature. Another thing I noticed was the AC does good because it starts off cool and sinks, but when it's the hot air, it's got the thermometer all the way up there, so it'll usually keep the top half of the house a few degrees warmer. So in the winter, like, I'll just use this space heater when I'm on the couch because it starts the air off, lower. But other than that, it's been fully equipped for full-time living. I can show you the kitchen arrangement if you'd like.
Sure.
So here I got the 9.9 cubic foot fridge and freezer. It works pretty good. I got the convection oven down beneath here. I just did that so that I could lift the fridge up a little bit and make it more better height for reach and stuff. Put the microwave in here and went ahead and put an outlet underneath the counter to keep that smooth. And then I just use a cooktop up on the counter. It saves a lot of space. And then I store my dishes up here in this little cavity. I'm not sure if you got that the first time.
Sweet.
And then when I framed out the shower, I put the plywood or the beadboard on the inside so that I could keep that 3.5 inches that would normally be wall space. And then this, when I lived here, was my pantry. And it was actually quite a lot of space, and I liked it better than my current house that has the deep cabinet because the stuff in the back you never get to. But this stuff here, it's like you can see everything that you need.
I love it. Did we miss anything?
Nothing too crazy. I got the couch here with some lockers underneath it.
Yep.
For great for shoe storage. And then of course it lifts up for storage behind that. Nothing else too crazy. Went a little crazy with the outlets. Put in 25. Goal was to never have to use an extension cord.
It's a good goal.
Which worked out. Also went crazy with I put in speakers. So surround sound, you can see I got 2 in here, 2 in the loft, and then 2 by the desk. So So if someone else is looking to build out theirs, they can at least run the wires, because it's only about $10 of wire. So you can always do that and then not use it, but it'd be much harder to go in afterwards and run wire.
For sure.
And this kitchen table can fold down as well. And then you can turn these chairs around, and if you have 4 or 5 people, this island can slide out to be used as a kitchen table.
Okay.
In theory. I never actually did that though.
Now, do you need to advertise the Airbnb, or you got plenty of customers on that one?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I stay pretty much booked on that. But if people want to look at my Instagram, they can search Rolling Quarters Tiny House on Instagram and it'll pop up. And then on my Instagram, I have a link to my Airbnb where you can do that.
Perfect. Well, I do appreciate the tours.
Sure thing. Yeah.